With me now is Democratic lawmaker Steve Cohen of the great state of Tennessee. He serves on the House Judiciary Committee. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for being here. So the president has said that's it. Nothing is going to get done. Nothing will get through Congress while you are still investigating me and talking about impeachment. Never mind the fact that the Nixon administration got a whole bunch of stuff through Congress during that time. But apparently that doesn't matter here to this president. I just wonder, because you are supportive of impeachment proceedings now, if you think it's worth it to do that, push forward ahead on that, if that means Zippo gets done in Congress for the American people.
Well, we're probably not going to get anything done anyway, because Mitch McConnell has already announced that the Senate is the graveyard for House legislation. Trump has no policy issues. He is not a person of ideas. It's about Trump and his ego. So he wasn't going to get much done anyway. And I think Mick Mulvaney told him there was no money, so find an excuse for not getting an infrastructure bill done.
He made a $2 trillion infrastructure proposal, sir.
Well, but Mick Mulvaney said it wasn't going to happen immediately after the first meeting with the Democrats. He said there was no money. Trump doesn't care. He's all about, it's all reality television. His job is to get things done. He basically said, if you investigate me, I'm not going to do my job.
All right.
If you investigate him, it shows he feels guilty and there's something to be found. He can't be a gangster.
He got tax reform done, which I know you're not supportive of it, but it was a major piece of legislation through. But I take your point and your view. Here's the thing. I know that you are calling for impeachment proceedings and inquiry to start now. You said something that really struck me a few days ago on another network, Congressman. You said 90% of Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee are for opening an impeachment inquiry right now. If that number is accurate, is Nancy Pelosi going too soft on the president right now? Is she not listening to the majority of members of her caucus?
Well, it's the majority of the members of the Judiciary Committee. The members of the Judiciary Committee are much more attuned to this issue, and it's our responsibility to protect the Constitution. That's where impeachment would lie. The majority of the caucus is not there yet. Nancy has a good perspective on her caucus, and she's a good mother hen. I think she's wrong in her strategy. I think by exposing the corruption of this administration, the Emoluments Clause violations, the obstruction of justice, all the things that he's done, the obstruction of Congress, and having it in the form of an impeachment inquiry or an impeachment hearing that the public will watch, as they did during the Watergate Senate hearings, and they will come around to see that this man is not capable and to be president.
Okay, but you just told me 90% of the Democrats on House Judiciary are supportive of an impeachment inquiry now, but not a majority of Democrats in the entire caucus. Right. But yet you still don't think Nancy Pelosi is making the right choice by listening to the majority in her caucus?
Well, she needs to do, what's right. She says that she's doing this because of patriotism, not politics. And it's hard to see that. I mean, patriotism would say, jump into hell for a heavenly cause. And the fact is, when you have a constitution and you have a rule of law and it's being destroyed in a reckless gangster manner, you need to act. I think the only reason not to act is because of politics.
So Speaker Pelosi, wait. I mean, you're saying, it sounds like you're saying House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is not being patriotic. Is that right?
No, not necessarily. I think, you can be patriotic in different ways, but if you're going to say whether going for impeachment is patriotic or not going for impeachment is patriotic, I think going for impeachment is, when you see it laid out before you, and I see that.
So you're saying she's putting politics above patriotism in this instance?
I hate to get into it, Nancy. Nancy and I have got a great relationship, and I'm not going to spoil that. But
well, I get that, but you also need to be straight, right? You're being straight with the American people. Is that how you see it?
I'm straight with the American people. Donald Trump needs to be impeached. I think it'll be the best thing for the country and the best thing for the Democrats both.
Okay, listen to your Republican colleague in the Senate, John Kennedy. Here's what he said.
The House leadership needs to urinate or get off the pot.
Is he right?
He always has these cute little colloquialisms. This one he changed around. John Kennedy is not on the House Judiciary Committee. It's not his responsibility to act. He's from a state that's very heavily pro-Trump, and he has ambitions of running for governor.
But is he right that House leadership should act on this?
It's
make
not
a
for him
decision?
to tell us. I think the House leadership should and will eventually be for impeachment because this man is the most impeachable president ever. He's going to continue to do things that are aberrant behavior for a president. What he said about Rex Tillerson today was crazy. He was dumb as a rock. He hired him. He said he hired the best people.
Yeah.
He's no geologist. He doesn't know what a rock is.
Rex Tillerson is not dumb. He ran one of the most valuable American companies ever, or on the planet ever.
Right.
All right, let me just get you on this finally. Look, let's talk about the third and final article of impeachment against President Nixon. It was, and I'm paraphrasing, that he withheld documents and didn't turn over documents and records to lawmakers, and that's what's happening here. So I'm interested in if your game plan, if Democrats' game plan right now is basically defy even these court rulings that we're seeing, refuse to hand over documents, etc., and then use that as an article of impeachment against the president.
I don't think that's not a game plan. That's a fact, and that'll be if there is an article of impeachment that I have anything to do with, and I've got drawn, and I've not decided the right time to act on it. It includes obstructing the Congress, just as Nixon did. These are acts to try to obstruct the investigation. He knows that there was obstruction of justice. And Mueller basically said there was obstruction of justice, but because he was president, he couldn't bring the charges. He needed a forum where he had an opportunity to defend himself, because Mueller's a man of rectitude, which is a word Trump doesn't not only appear to be, but he doesn't even know.
All right, the Mueller report didn't exactly do that. It spent about 150 pages laying 10 areas of potential obstruction and really left that decision, it seems, in the hands of you guys. We'll see where this goes. Representative Steve Cohen, it's very nice to have you today, an important conversation. I do appreciate your time.